Alright, so we're in lab 2. Okay, so lab 2, you're gonna have to have some files to download it, and I'm gonna show you how to download it. Of course, I already put it up in your Teams, so you should have that. So of course, when you go to your MyMCC, go to this Microsoft 365, and then you have password here and go in. Okay, of course, what I'm gonna do is I am gonna download what I have, and I will upload that for you. Let me just go and download this and put it into your Teams. Yes, so that would be in 101. Go to files. We are in spring 2026, and I'm just gonna go ahead and upload this, okay, for you. Okay, so make sure you download that. So after you download is right here, yeah, 3 little dot, and you're gonna see download right there, yeah. So when you download it, it will go into your download folder. Okay, downloads folder, and of course you can access download folders right here. I don't need this, so I'm just going to delete it. And right click on it, extract it. Yeah, so you can extract it right here. And these are all the exercise files you need, okay? Because it's come with the AutoCAD subscriptions. When we make the workbook, okay, we have to follow what they have. Okay, another thing is you can also put the entire folder, like copy it, okay, and of course I like to put it in AutoCAD, yeah, files here in my document. So see like how I put it in there, okay. So of course, if you want you mess up something and you want it new, all you have to just copy it, okay, and keep one original zip file here so you can extract as many times you want, and whenever you make an issue or problem and mess up, then you can clone it back. Yeah, the original file right in there for you, so it's there for you. Then of course we're going to come back to the AutoCAD site. So here in this lab, we're going to touch up a new drawing file, layers, objects, of course, construction, line types, trim, erase, break, join, hatch. Of course, we're gonna do some annotations, alright? Dimensions, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, so you know like where the major AutoCAD functions are in the user interface. Of course, we will touch up a little bit on the plot too. Alright, gonna start. Here's your open a new. We will start the new one, and this is just a default regular AutoCAD.dwt. Okay, we can just open it, and here this is your new drawing. See this drawing 1, and we're gonna go ahead and save it. Yeah, and we will. What we're gonna do is you want to save it in a particular folder. Yeah, so right now I point, because this is my computer, so I pointed to the document. Yes, for you can either put it in OneDrive, or you can also put it in S drive, and your directory browser is right there. Okay, for me, I am just going to make a new folder, and then I am just going to name it like AutoCAD, okay, lab, so that way I know, okay, where I want to save. And here of course I am in lab 2, so I name it lab 2. Okay, so file organization is like that. So if you go by, you know exactly where your stuff are. These are my exercise AutoCAD files are right in there, my sheets are in here, my AutoCAD labs are in here, and they are all situated right under the documents. Okay, what I do is I'm just going to point my directory to there, yeah, to into lab 2, so I know exactly what I'm doing. And of course I am just going to name SQUARE, okay, and then FLANGE. It's just a part, okay, mechanical part, so mechanical PART, okay. I put it like that so I know like which one I'm building. Sometimes architect structure or something there. Okay, now I'm just gonna go ahead and save it. Of course, you can leave it here at square flange. Okay, you don't have to put mechanical part if you don't want to. And all you have to just put your name at the end. So that way. So that way you know, okay, when you turn in your assignment, that's your file. You type it right there. And of course, now the template, regular template, has changed into .dw. Alright, sorry, that was my neighbor, and they're plowing the snow at the front of my house. Okay, alright, one moment. Okay, so we're back here, and so anyways, the file changed, okay, from DWT to just a regular, okay, DWG. Alright, and then I'm gonna just get a drawing app here, yeah, so I can be able to write. It's kind of like a whiteboard. So your .dwt, yes, file name is now saved as dwg. Okay, so this is a drawing file, and that is there's a dot here, so that is a template. It's a T for template, and then of course a D for drawing. Okay, all right. All right, now we're gonna go back and check. Yeah, go back to the start tab here, and then of course we can be able to check. Yeah, open files. What you save is there. It is there. See. So when you see the file types, we have like like a few file types here, like .dwg, DWS is standard, and then of course DXF is another file type, and this one is your drawing template. Okay, so right now I'm just going to make sure that my file is saved right in there. Okay, and now we're going to go back to another tab here, which is your drawing file. Recently opened, recently created drawing file. Now we will get into exercise 2 and start loading the line types. Alright, so after we have created the drawing, now we are ready to draw a part, mechanical part. Yeah. So the very first time you want to draw, you don't just go right straight into here and then do something here. Okay, don't do that. That is not correct. So the very first thing you have to do is you have to prepare. So we're gonna prepare the line types first. So we're gonna link it back to the lecture, and of course to draw you definitely need a regular line, and we call that the visible lines. To draw the shape of the object you're drawing out of your 3D into 2D. So this is a 2D canvas here. It is saying 2Ds right here. See, drafting and annotation. So that means a 2D. This is 3 and that is 3. So of course you also have a workspace setting that you can customize. Okay, so right now we are in the correct place. So that's the first thing you are going to take a look at it. Okay, so then of course then we will get into preparing the line times that we need to draw this part. So we will go to the home tab, and which is already there. And then we will go each panel, go all the way down to the properties. See, the name of this panel is properties. So we'll go to the properties panel, and then of course the line types drop down list, alright, is in this panel. So we can be able to see each one of them there. See, pay attention and make sure you're looking at where everything right in this properties panel. So we will go into the by layer. So there are two by layer there, but with different icons, all right? And so we have to go into the line type, okay, by layer. This one is a line weight. See this line weight, and then this is line type. Icon is same. See, line type is different. Line weight, you can see the thickness. See the gradual changes in the thickness of the line, and here is just the types of the line. So therefore, now we're preparing the line type for our drawing. We will go in there, okay? Of course, we are going to do it again, okay? And then go here and go into other. And here's a line type. And pay attention what we can do. We can load, current, delete, hide, invert the filter. We can filter. Then, of course, there's an internal window there. We can be able to check the appearance of the line, okay, types that you have loaded, and the description of that. Continuous mean the visible line, yeah. And now we're gonna load some more, so we will get into another window, yeah. See this a little another window pop out by clicking this load, okay. So here is a load, and there are many lines. See, look at that different description with the different appearance of the lines, okay. Then we will go to H, okay. They are in alphabetical letters, so you don't have to worry about looking for it. You can just scroll down alphabetically and you will go to H group. So in there are several H, see, like hidden, hidden 2, hidden times 2. It's just showing you the size of it. See, this is just a standard one, and we want that. This is a smaller hidden dashes, okay, and here is a bigger hidden dashes. So what we gotta do is just choose a standard one because it's reasonably okay. If yours is really big, then of course, or very small drawing, you're gonna choose one of this, yeah. And you are going to press this up, okay. See like how inside of this internal window of this window, you can be able to see the hidden line is not being loaded, for your drawing. And of course, we are going to load some more. We will load continuous, we will load center, and we will load hidden. So now I have two, okay. The very first one is a continuous, the second one we loaded hidden. So I have to find the center line. So I will go to C group. So center, see small center and a big center, because the factors are showing here regular, small 0.5, big times 2, and then just load it. Now it shows, yeah. Don't worry about if your window doesn't look like exactly okay in the textbook, because textbook is kind of like 1 or 2 version before the latest version, but they're the same, okay. Now just look for it and don't go panic, okay. Then we will go into, okay, hide details and show details. So if you hide it, it is going to go away. See, if you click on show details, another hidden menu pop out. Okay, I'm going to do that again for you. See this? See, details come up. We can hide the details. We can show the details. And now we're going to change the scale a little bit. 1 is a pretty standard, so I'm just going to bump it down, yeah, to a 0.5 to make it a little bit reasonable for this drawing. And do not change all other settings and leave it as they are. After we have set and load the lines that we need, okay, line types that we need, we are going to save it. Save the setting we just created. Of course, every time you do your drawing, make sure you save it. I usually prepare my drawings and I save like that. So I set my unit, everything, and I save that file. So every time I want to draw something, I copy and clone the file that I set up, so I don't have to do reloading, okay, the line types. So that is up to you. So how do you clone your file? All you have to do is, of course, go to the document, and then, of course, right now I save it into my labs. AutoCAD labs for this class, and you can be able to see this is right now playing. This is what you have already saved. And after you set up things right in this file, all you have to do is just copy, yeah. And then of course you can save the copy of that. So that's your master file. Let's say we can just type it in the way you want. Oh, line type, I have 6 line type loaded. Unit is American units, or the metric units, okay, SI units. Standard is this, that, and of course you are going to put these things right there, okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because I don't need it. Of course, on the job, what you have to do is, of course, on the job, you will create many different templates. Yeah, so jobs are usually they do the same thing. All right, it's most of them. Like if you work for the pipe company, then you have pipes. Yeah, and they already have a template set up, so it will be easier for you. Because if you have like a new part or something like that, then you are going to set up your drawing in the way they want it. Then we are going to set up another one. So here we're going to create the new layers. So we will touch up the layers, okay, settings. Of course, layers, we use them to organize the objects, yeah, in the drawing. So we don't just draw on just a single layer. We have multiple layers. So that way, if you make mistake on one layer, it doesn't, yet that mistake won't hurt drawings on other layers. Okay, so on the AutoCAD, yeah, here is your home tab, and you are going to go to layers. So layers are right here. Yeah, it said it so here. See, layers, layers. So this is a layer panel under the home tab. Okay, and of course we are going to open it. Yeah, so here we have layer properties. We have one row here showing, yeah, with a drop down, and you can be able to see, yeah, the different layers. And then you have make current match layers, okay, are in there. If you open it up, you got more menu right there that you can be able to play with. Right now we're going to concentrate on the layer property, which is this guy. Yeah, so here is your layer property, okay, window. You cannot grab from here, it won't move. You're gonna have to grab from the menu. Yeah, so here is the menu on the side. Yeah, so you have something like this, and we are going to start creating different layers. So the very first one is new layer. See, new layer pop on, and second one is new layer VP. Okay, frozen in all viewports. And then you have a new layer, delete layer, okay, and then of course this is delete with a little red, and then of course you can set current, yeah, as when you draw on one of the layers that you have created, you're going to set that layer that you're drawing as a current. Okay, so where you can be able to see like on which layer you are on, you can make the layer current like that. Right now let's make a new layer. So the very first layer is named 0. See, and it is on the continuous line type, yeah, and if you pull this you can be able to see the whole thing, so that's up to you. Yeah, so see, like all of this a little lines are kind of like they overlap each other, and it's a little bit difficult for you to be able to read it. Yeah, so you can read it by opening, okay, like this, and I am going to show you each one of them, okay, what they are, and make a habit of looking inside of it. All right, and of course don't feel bad to open, okay, and look, okay, what you need to look at it. Of course, and here is also auto hide. Okay, if you hide it, it will go away. Yes, to save the space. If you open it, it's gonna come out. And here is, look at this little property. Yeah, so when you look at it, you're able to see the hidden menu. Okay, like that. So right now we will open up and see, okay, what we have here in this, of course, menu. Yeah, so we have description, VP, okay, freeze, which is this guy right there. Okay, so this is a new layer, VP, frozen in all viewport. Okay, VP is your viewport. Okay, transparency. Okay, we don't care about the cosmetic stuff right now. Of course, and here is your line weight showing you what line you have on that layer. So layer 0 has a continuous line type with line weight at default. Okay, and the color is of course white on this gray, okay, ish background. And of course, you can also see, look at this, the plot connected to the little printer, and you can lock the layer if you want to. Okay, you can also freeze the layer, so when you are drawing complicated parts you will be using all these tools. Okay, they're very good. Of course, this is turn on or off. Now we are going to set up this new layer that we have created. We will put the object there, so let's go in, yeah, just click it and backspace, and you're gonna type it object object. Yeah, so we will name this new layer created, and we name it object. Okay, and we want to create another layer, and then we're gonna name it dimension. Yeah, so we're now practicing how to name the layer. So dimensions. Okay, so if I ask you go ahead and create this layer, that layer, you should be able to do that. If your problem asks you create this layer, that layer, you should be able to do that. In your certification is asking you create this layer, that layer, you should be able to do that. Okay, so now we have object and we have dimension. We have two layers so far. Then we will go into learning how to change the color. So go to the color, okay, color swatch. So this is called the color swatch, and you can be able to see the color. Yeah, so right now we are at a white color. Okay, so in the select color dialog box, okay, so if you just click on this, you're gonna get another window. So see, so this is a select color dialog box, and of course, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna choose the color. So you can see the index of all the colors right there. You know, index color tab, you can be able to see true color, color books, and then of course index color is the very first tab. Yeah, so now you're gonna click the red. So red is most of the people like red for the dimension. Yeah, so it's a very coarse red. Of course, if you want to mix the color, you can do that. If you want to get, you know, like pretty color, you can also go by the color code, okay, and mix them. Yeah, so here is your RGB, is just a red, green, blue, and red, green, blue is a basic color that you mix them together with. Okay, and of course we code it so that way you know like what your mix is. Okay, and here is showing you the mix like that. So anyway, so let's go back to here, and that is color code is 255. Okay, so 255 is for the red. So see, like if you change, you get yellow. Yeah, you get, here is the red, and here is green. Okay, so 255 is your white. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. So 255 is a white, red is just red. Okay, R. And of course, this little icon is just showing you to recognize which color is on. Yeah, so I just made a mistake because my eyes wasn't looking at it. And of course, so here is a by layer and by block if you want to choose it, but we don't need it right now. Yeah, so we just choose right there, and you check that is a current color, and we're just going to go ahead and sign in. So now the white color changed into red. So white was 255 and the red is red. Alright, then we want to create the third layer, and we're going to name it hatch, and then we're going to assign it the 9 color. So we do the same thing. We will name it HATCH. Okay, I'll show you, and you do that. After we have named it, we have to go to the color swatch. Okay, click on it, go to the color index tab in the select color dialog box, and we are going to choose, okay, the color as color 9. So this is color 1 because it said it. So here 2, 3, you see this is changing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then here, okay, is the color 9. So I am on color 9. I check I check the icon, I press OK. So I got my color 9 for the layer named hatched. Okay, then we will do the same thing. Okay, the next layer we are going to name it tax. So we go TEXT. All right, and this time we're gonna choose blue. So we go there and then give it the blue color and then press OK. Okay, and then we will do another layer and we are going to name it a name center. All right, and then we're gonna assign center layer the color green. Okay, so here's the color green is number 3. Okay, so if you look at it, that's a 3, that's a 4. Yeah, your color number 9 is a gray. Okay, so anyway, so let's just say okay. So now we have carefully assigned all the colors. Yeah, after we finish the name and then the color, we are now going to get into the line type. Yeah, see, there's a line type. So the line type, we are going to go to the center layer. Yeah, so which is this layer. And then of course, we want to go into the line type. So every time you want to go into that, all you have to do is just click, okay, on it. So now we have the select line type dialog box. Okay, it's going to show up, and in there, okay, we are going to go to the center because we are at default on the visible line, yeah, which is a continuous line. So we have to reassign the line type to center because we're on the center layer. Yeah. Then we're gonna create the last layer and we are going to name it HIDDEN, hidden, according to the line type. Yeah, and of course we will go to the color and we are gonna change it, okay, into white, which is number 7. Okay, so let's just say okay. After that, we are going to go to the line type, all right, and choose the hidden line. Yeah, and then press OK. Yeah. Of course, this is a line weight, okay, but default is that if you have interest in it, you can go in there, yeah, and according to the textbook, all right, and we have different millimeters right there. Of course, this is thinner and these are thicker. Yeah, so it depends on the drawing instruction. You can be able to choose it. Right now, we are going to use the default line weight. Okay, after we have set up, all right, a layer property. So current layers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. We set it up with correct color, line types, and line weights. Yeah. So therefore, what we have to do is I'm going to just show you, yeah, visible line or continuous. Okay, and of course, a center line. Okay, a center line. You have like a center line like that. Okay, and of course, a hidden line is they have the same, okay, dash. Okay, center line has like a one long and another one short. Okay, like that. So this is just we relate to the lecture, yeah, lecture on side of it, so you know which one is a visible line or continuous, which one is a center and which one is a hidden line. Okay, now we're done. All right, with setting up the layers, so therefore we're just gonna go ahead and close it, and every time you set something up, you are going to save it. Alright, now we will prepare the canvas. So in order for us to be able to create the straight curved objects, right, that create this part that we're trying to draw, we are going to set up the grid. So the grid is situated right here. See this little blue? It's a display drawing grid, okay? The command GRIDMODE, and the shortcut is F7. Okay, it is showing you all the information right there. Yeah, you can be able to read it very, very clearly. So if you click on it, okay, it is going to remove the grid. Okay, if you click again, it's going to show up. Okay. Then after showing the grid, we are going to go all the way to the object array snap. So object snap is very important because look at this, the snap cursor to 2D reference point object snap OSNAP is a command and F3 is your shortcut. Okay, so if you click on it, yeah, it's gonna be gone away. If you click on it again, it's gonna blue again. Blue means it is on, okay? And of course, if you click this little drop down button next to the object snap, or we call it O snap, all right, O snap icon, you can be able to see this little drop down button, okay, showing up the O snap menu right there. Okay, so right now we have endpoint. Okay, see that? Alright, so this is your object snap, and we open the menu, and we are going to go to the settings, yeah, and we get this a drafting setting window from this, all right, icon, yeah. So it looks where's my board? It looks very much like a little, you know, like that, and then like this. If you draw it really big, is your O, okay, O snap command. So this is your command, and that's your icon, yeah. All right, so now we are right here. See, the tab is on object snap. So if you want to change the tab, or you just click on it, the third one, okay, the third tab in the drafting setting is your object snap. All right, we're gonna just clear everything. Then we're gonna reset, yes, and we will choose the endpoint. We need this center. We sometimes need it. We sometimes need a quadrant. So we choose this, and then that. Okay, and then of course you can be able to press OK. And then we are gonna check the object snap is on or not. Yeah, so here that got to be on. Yeah. Tracking, sometimes, you know, it's good to turn it on, but for this exercise, let's just turn it off, yeah, then press OK. Now we will go back to our drawing and go to your home, yeah, so your home is right there, and then we go all the way down to the layers panel, okay, which is this kind. So layers drop down list, and we will click on it, okay, on this little, okay, layers here, and we can be able to see what we have created. So our center, dimension, hatch, hidden object, and text are there. So right now let's jump to object, okay, as your current, of course, a layer. It means that out of all the layers, we are going to draw the object on this object layer, yeah. And then now we will go into the draw panel. So in the draw panel, you're gonna choose, okay, rectangle, polygon drop down menu, and we are going to choose, all right, a rectangle. So here we have line, polyline, circle, arc, rectangle, and polygon is right here, yeah, and you can be able to see with a little, okay, something like that, okay, so with a little point here and then point there, it looks like this, okay, icon is. And it's situated right there, yeah. Here, this your eclipse, see? If you click on it, center, axis, and, okay, it's there. And if you click on here, you see hatch, gradient, yeah, boundary. If you click on draw, we can be able to see more drawing tools, okay? So each little tiny drop down is gonna give you more, okay, menu. All right, right now, let's just stick to this rectangle. Okay, and we will choose rectangle. Okay, so as soon as you get into the rectangle mode, all right, it is going to ask you specify first corner point, yeah. And of course, here your command line also asks you to choose. See that? Specify first corner, yeah, point. And of course, you get this little menu attached to your cursor, if you turn on the dynamic input. Yeah, so right now I'm just going to escape it. I want to show you that you need to turn on right here at the bottom menu. This dynamic input got to be on. If I turn it off, okay, I go there here and then I got my rectangle. Okay, you can be able to stay, all right, still see it, okay. However, sometimes it's going to disappear. Okay, so right now let's just escape it. All right, so we are going to go back, okay, and start with a rectangle. So it's asking you to specify first corner point. So we're just moving this cursor to approximately in the middle of your drawing area, okay. And of course you can click on it, yeah, and then start typing. And I'm going to show you how you can make some of the mistake, yeah. And of course you can go forward, yeah, and corner, and don't click on the period instead of the comma. Yeah, comma means we're going to the next, of course, next blank, okay, box right there where you can be able to input -4 and then enter it. Okay, so now this is going to give you a little, okay, rectangle that is actually a square because it has a 4x4, okay, dimension. Of course, you can do as many times as you want to exercise how to draw the rectangle. So you can always go back, okay, and let's just click on this, okay, rectangle. It means that we're erasing what we have just drawn, okay. So now we're gonna do this again, yeah. So what you have to do is click on this rectangle, click on the canvas. We are going to do, okay, add mark. So you have an absolute coordinate with sharp and relative coordinate with at, okay, coding. And then of course we go for the very first box, we fill that in. We will jump to the second box by clicking comma on the keyboard, okay. Don't worry about whatever that is going on in the drawing area, okay, that's just computer doing. Now we are going to specify the next coordinate. So we choose a full comma, okay, -4 with the relative coordinate, yeah, input coding. And then we just click enter on your keyboard and you are going to get this, okay. And make sure you practice how to input the rectangle. All right, before we draw the center, all right, what you need to do is to make sure that you have, okay, what you have set it up. So you have endpoint, center, and quadrants. All right, object snaps are on, and that is a good thing. Then I'm going to change my view, all right, because it's a little bit small. So I'm just going to click on this and then go zoom extend. So you can be able to see, okay, the square that you have just created. Yeah, you can also, of course, make it move, okay, by using your pen, okay, like that, and escape out of it so you get by your cursor. Yeah. Okay, now we are going to draw the circle right at the center. So how are we going to do this? So all we have to just click on it, yeah? So we go to the home and then go to the draw, and we are going to choose, we have several variations of drawing, how to draw the circle. The very first one is the center and radius. Center and diameter, 2 point, 3 point, tangent, tangent, radius, tangent, tangent, and tangent drawing, okay? So right now we are going to just use this, okay? We're gonna just use this, and then of course I already show you how to check what is on here, okay, for the object, okay, object snap extensions or everything right here. Make sure your settings are okay, yeah. And then of course we will go back and then click on this radius. So after you have clicked on it, okay, we move gently, yeah, just move, by the way, don't click any other thing, just move, okay, control your mouse and move it to the middle of this the square that we have just drawn, yeah. So what you have to do is you will hold down on your keyboard, your shift key, just hold it down, okay, and then right click it to open, okay, another hidden menu. So it's going to take you to the up snap settings, and in there we are going to choose the mid between 2 point, okay. And now we want to put the circle straight right into the square, so we have to find the points on the square, you know. So we find this point and then that point. So we gently hover over it and see the green little thing pop out and click one time, okay, and then click the other side, go all the way, gently hover over it and then click. Okay, your circle is gonna pop out. Now we are going to define the radius of the circle and give it a 1. Okay, so we give a 1, so we can be able to draw the circle and put it right in the middle of that square. Okay, after that, all you have to do is just enter 1. Okay, and then click enter, all right, on the keyboard. And now we have already, all right, I put the circle inside of the square. After you finish it, make sure you save it. Yes, every time you draw something, you save it. Right now, we are going to put another circle, okay, to this circle. So we are going to offset about like a 0 point, okay, 1 to 5, yeah, inside. Alright, so the next one is to put another circle, yeah? So we have to go from home all the way to modify to offset it. So since we already have a circle, we don't have to draw another one, alright, in it, yeah? So make sure that you click, yeah? Click this little. Sometimes it can be a little bit stubborn, yeah? So you have to make sure that you click it and it should show up like like the specified offset distance. So we are going to put 0.1 and then 2, 5, okay? See that? And of course, I am not clicking anything. I'm just moving my mouse like that, and then I put enter. And your plus sign is going to change to a little tiny square. Yeah. Now I want to offset this. Okay, this circles inside. So all I have to do is just click on it. Yeah, it will draw automatically for you. And I want to stick it to at the center, the same center of the previous circle. So I put it. Okay. And then of course, now I want to get back out of the offset mode. Still, my thing is, see, like a square right there and not a little tiny cursor. So all I do is hit enter on your keyboard. Yeah, so it will go back to your plus sign cursor. Okay, like this. So after you finish this, go ahead and save it. So we finish the offset. So make sure you do that again and again until you get it. Okay. Of course, we are going to offset again, but this time we're going to offset the square. Yes. So you go over there and hit the offset, all right? And of course, hit it again, so you can be able to get the specified offset distance. Yeah. And of course, we are going to change, all right? 625, so 0.625, and then you will get it enter. So you are going into the offset mode, and we are going to click, all right, this, because that's the rectangle, which is your square, okay, you are offsetting, and we want to offset inside, okay, inside of this square, okay. So when you get here, all right, some students get stuck like that. Okay, so I want to show it. I was trying to show you like how your mouse can go up and down. Yeah, and all you have to just make sure you click inside of it, because that's where you want your offset to go. Okay, so see this inside, yeah. So if you click on it, see, like you place it inside of it. If your cursor is somewhere there, it's going to place outside of it. Yeah, so I just show you how if you move the cursor, it is really not very good. So you have to click, okay, inside of it. Yeah. So once you finish offsetting, please press enter. Yeah. Of course, I can show you again, okay? So some students have issues. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it and show you again. Yeah, click, okay? And you're going to change to 0.6 and then to, okay, 5, I believe, as far as I remember, yeah, in this. And then, of course, you can enter. You're going to select it, okay, and then you're going to place it inside of it, yeah, just like that. And then, of course, you cut that little square cursor by entering on your keyboard, yeah, hit the enter key. So this is how you do your offset, and of course, I'll go ahead and save it. Alright, the next one is we are going to place a little tiny, alright, circle. So let me read what's the dimension. And we're going to place it right here at this. Yeah, so we get the circle and then we bring our cursor, click on it, and then we are going to give it like 0.25. Yeah, 0.25. And then of course I'll go ahead and click and enter. Yeah, so you will get a circle at the center of that edge of this inner square. Then we are going to erase, all right, because this is just we're using it as a construction line anyway, so we don't need it. So we are going to erase by clicking on this little, see this erase button, and now it's changed, change into the square. If you didn't get the square, make sure you click it again. Sometimes the mouse can be kind of very sensitive, and of course we want to get rid of this. Okay, so this square is just a construction line, so therefore we are just going to click that, okay, to get rid of it. Make sure you hit enter, yes, on your keyboard to finalize it, and of course you save it after that. Of course, then we are going to clone this to other corners. So all you have to do is just go to home, and then we will go to, of course, to the modify panel right here, and then you are going to find the array. So array is right here. So array has a little drop down, okay, button right there. So right now, out of 3 arrays, all right, we are going to use the very first rectangular array. So just click on it. So when you click on it, you're going to get the little, okay, the array mode is going to be turned on. Of course, you want to array this little, all right, circle. So you're going to select that small circle, and then press enter. It is going to take you to the array mode like that. So on the array, of course, menu, all right, pop out. What you have to do is to set up. So what we want is we are going to change the column to 2, all right, because the square has only 2, and then of course we want it, all right, between 2.75. So make sure you type that in. Okay, right now it's like a 0.75, so you are going to go in there and then just type 2.75. Okay, of course we wanted two rows, okay, instead of 3, we wanted 2. Okay. All right, and then of course we are going to I forgot to do this. So 2.75, okay, and then of course go to here and then get minus 2.75. Okay. So right now we have a 2 by 2. Okay. We have a 2.75 to minus 2.75 on the row, 2.75 on the column. So and then we check, of course, that's where we want it to be. Okay, and all you have to just click OK, and it's gonna give it to you. Of course, make sure you save it. All right, the next one is we will go into the fillet. So your home tab, I have to show you. So here is the modify, and then of course here is your fillet. And of course you have a different menu here. You have fillet, chamfer, and blend curves. So out of, we are going to choose a fillet. So now you are in the fillet mode. So you know that you're in that mode because you don't see your positive, a sign, a cursor anymore. You're in a little square, so you're definitely in the fillet mode. Let me come back one moment. Okay, so right here you can go ahead and enter. So Sorry, one student came in. So anyway, so you're in the fill-up mode. Okay, so after we click the fill-up, I think I should just show you back. So let me just go ahead and erase this command. Go back so you kind of get it. Okay, so let me just go back. Sorry, I was called by one of the. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat again. Yeah, so here is your fillet. Yes, so when you get to here, it's asking you, right, select the first object, or you can do undo polyline radius. So it's showing you right there. Okay, so what we have to do is we're just gonna choose the radius. So I just type R. Okay, and then of course you enter. Yeah, enter on the keyboard. Okay, so with your hand enter, hit the enter, which is ENTR on the keyboard, and then it asks you, yeah, specify the fillet radius. Look at the command line. See, so right now we are going to put in 0.25, yeah, according to your textbook, and you are going to enter again. And it's not done yet. It's asking you go ahead and select the object. Okay, we have U, P, R, T, and multiple right there. See, the P is with a little blue color. Yeah, in polyline radius, R is a little blue color. So we're gonna choose P and enter again. Yeah, so right here is asking you go ahead and show me which one you wanna do the filleting, and we wanna filleting the whole square. There's a plate right here, so all you have to just go ahead and choose that. Yeah, so now we filleted all that four corners, and go ahead and save it, of course. Okay, so make sure you read the command line. Okay, the command line is there, and doesn't matter what your cursor is showing, just don't move your mouse so often and click. Okay, there's no need to click. You only put the stuff that you need to put in. Okay, without necessarily clicking on the stuff you don't need. Okay, all right. Then of course we will review a little bit of the lab one. All right, so your navigation bar is right here. Yeah, your pen is right there, and then your zoom is of course there. Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to do the zoom window a little bit. Yeah, so I already am at the zoom extent. Yeah, because I want to make sure that I see properly, so you can be able to zoom in and out like that. You can be able to pan. Yeah, so it depends on what you want to do. Of course, if you're in the pan hand, or you have to just click escape, it will go back to your regular cursor. Yeah, so right now you want to do the window. Yeah, so click on the zoom window and then scan it. Yeah, so it's gonna give you that size. All right. And of course, after you change the zoom, I'll go ahead and save it. And of course, I have already shown you, so how to do. So right now we're on zoom window. Zoom extend is right there. Okay. Then we're gonna review and play with the zoom out. Yeah, so we go back here, and then you can zoom out. See like how small it becomes. So you can control the zoom and pan. Then we want to zoom out again. We can do that. Yeah, just pay attention to like how you can zoom in and out, okay, like that. Of course, your pan again to make sure that you have a control over the drawing canvas. Okay, what we're gonna do is this is just showing you the pan right here, so you can be able to place wherever you want it. Of course, go ahead and save it after playing with the zoom and pan. All right, now I want to set up the way I want it to be, because I want to see it a little bit bigger. You can adjust it with your own eyesight, and your focal point. Then we're gonna do the next. All right, lesson, and you go to home, and then you go to this draw panel, and we are going to use a construction line. Yeah, so we have several lines right here. So the construction line is right here. Yeah, so if you look at it, so you see the 1, 2 wiggly thingy, and then of course the third one is your construction line. Yes, so make sure you choose a construction line. So when we get to the construction line, okay, we want to construct a vertical construction line because you can look at the command line. Yeah. So if you look at the command line, you can be able to see horizontal, vertical, right? ANG for angle, bisect, and offset. So all of that option, we want to do the vertical. So you choose V, okay, and then enter. Yeah. And it's going to ask you, give me the X line, yeah, specified through point. And of course, if you want to see a little bit bigger, yeah, all you have to do is just go here to the zoom, and then you can be able to zoom out of it. Yeah, so you can see this line a little bit longer. Of course, now you're gonna have to specify the point. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to specify the point right there. See that how it changes? Look at this. See, it goes into a little positive, yeah, sign like that when you grab the end point of that. Yeah, look at this where the fillet and the part side meets. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna place it right there. And second, we're gonna place it right here. Yeah. And the third, we're gonna place it right there. And the fourth, we are going to place it right there. And the sixth, we are going to place it right here. And the last one, we are going to place it right there. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 lines. All right. Construction lines are put in that part. See that? So that's your X line, okay, command that you can be able to use. Yeah, and then of course go ahead and enter the X line command by hitting enter on your keyboard and save it. So save right here. And then of course we are going to do, all right, next let's move it up a little bit. All right, so I have a very limited space right here, so I move it up here and escape out of it, and then of course I'll go all the way and then do the construction line again. Yeah, so here this time we are going to go into the horizontal. Yeah, and of course you can go around here. Yes, when you look at it. Okay, so what you have to do is move it, okay? Move it relatively around here, okay? And then just click and place that line. Yeah, see that? And then of course enter it to confirm the line, okay? And then let's go ahead and offset that line. Save it, okay? Forget. All right, then we are going to offset. So let's click on the offset. Yeah. So we want to do about 2, I would say. Okay, so just enter 2, okay, in there. Yeah, and of course we want to put it like a right enter, all right, that line. Yeah, see, look at this. So you can be able to see this is a line. Yeah, we want to offset, and of course we want to offset it. Yes, all down there. So let's just click on it, and it will automatically, yeah, so do that for you. And of course you want to repeat, okay, the same offset command. So press enter, all right, enter to come out of the first command, and then you can be able to go in again, yeah, to get that, yeah, offset. So I bump into an object, so all you have to just make sure that you click, okay? So sometimes my mouse is really sensitive and it won't go 0.25, and after you click it, yes, you can be able to enter it. And then of course you want to offset it, okay, a little bit, all right, this guy, and you want to offset it, all right, down, okay? So we just click it down like this, and after that end that command by clicking on enter, yes, a key on your keyboard, and go ahead and save it. So now we have drawn the construction line, okay? So vertical, 6 of them, and horizontal, offsetting 2, offsetting 0.25. Yeah, so you will get is something like this, okay? And of course save it. Alright, then we're gonna move it up a little bit, so let's grab the hand and then move it up a little bit here so we can be able to see it. Then we want to trim. So trim is under home and you go to modify and you are going to see a little scissor like that and there's a drop down. Always click on the drop down and we got the scissor. And here you can be able to choose, okay, into the F mode. So let's go into the F mode. So when you get to the F mode, you can be able to specify, okay, the fence point. We can go with the fence point. So what you're gonna do is you will erase. So what we want to do is we want to start, okay, right here. So just click on it, and then of course you are going to delete all of this. And then come to the second point is this. Okay, so all you have to just click on it. And the point, the next point is around here. And then of course the fourth is right there, and then we're gonna go down to 5 is right here. Then of course we are going to delete this, and then we are going to delete all of this, okay, all the way back to around here. Once you finish it, I'll go ahead and enter. So you will get something like this, and of course I'll save it. Then we're gonna move up a little bit, okay, so get the hand and then go up a little bit like this, and get out of your hand like that. And then of course we want to erase. So let's just go ahead and erase with this erase. So what we want to erase is going with the fence, of course. So once you hit a erase, you will get something like that. And students usually make a mistake, okay, going like that. So don't do that. So all you have to do is, so I am going to redo that again for you, okay? So you click on this, all right, and it will change into that mode, right? So when you get it, don't do clicking another time, So that's a student have issue by clicking an extra click. It is a very bad thing. Just type F, all right, in your keyboard, and then it is going to take you into that fence mode. So once you get it, we come to this line and then we start fencing, okay, just like we did it before. So point 1 and then here point 2, and then we're going to go all the way down, okay, to the end of that line and then get rid of that, okay, and then press enter. See that? So now you have already, okay, deleted. So let me go back to my hand and want to show you. Okay, so now we have a clean cut and trimmed. Of course, I'll go ahead and save it. Now we are going to navigate to this little thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my hand and then pull it up a little bit, escape out of the hand. And of course I'll go to our little window. So that way we can be able to see this. All right, zoom in and go ahead and save that. Alright, the next thing is to trim off. So we go back to our home, modify your trim is here, showing you step by step, like where the trim is, and try to remember, okay? So you know that where they are, okay? Alright, so we want to trim off first is this guy, and second is of course this guy, look at this. And then of course the third is we want to trim this little, okay, line like this, right? So do that and you will get something like this, okay? Then we will get into just teaching you how to use erase and the trim. Sometimes you have to click it 2 times, okay, to get that the little square cursor so that you're in the erase mode. And of course we want to erase, okay, this, see that? And of course you will have to end, okay, by hitting enter key. Alright, the next is we want to break. We want to break it, so we go home. And then of course we go to the modify. We want to break a line, so we will go to the modify panel and then drop down here, yeah, and you can be able to see, okay, more choices here. Yeah, look at this. So the break, it is kind of look like this. Okay, here is like a little battery, and then of course kind of like a break point it is right here. Yeah, so if you click on it, okay, you are in the break a point mode. We can identify by getting this little square, all right, a cursor, tiny little square cursor. Of course, we want to break this line, so we just go ahead and click it. You know, see that? So when you click it, okay, you're gonna get this. Okay. Of course. So after you click, okay, click that line, you're gonna see this little, okay, green, all right, thing right here. Yes, look at that. Yeah, see this? And all you have to just click on it. Yeah, so because that's the endpoint that you want to make sure that you break, okay, this line. So let's just click on it, okay. Of course, and then of course you gonna cancel all of the commands to make sure that you don't have a previous, all right, previously input commands are still in your command line. So just click escape a few times and that is going to do it. And then of course we're going to check if we actually break it or not by highlighting, okay, on the line. So if you highlight it, you can be able to see that, okay, you have broken that line. Yeah, so we get something like this because you have this. Yeah, see that? Okay, of course, so go ahead and save after you have broken the line at a point. All right, so after selecting a line, okay, you want to come back out of it, all you have to do is click escape. Okay, so if you click escape, you will come back out of the selection. Now you will go to the home tab, and then of course go to the layers. So we want to change the layers to hidden, yeah, hidden line. So because we want to use the hidden line instead of the visible line. Save it. So now the layer has changed and we move from the object to hidden. Yeah. All right. Then we want to I actually, yeah, forget one of the assignments. So let's just go back to this layer, and then I'm going to just go ahead and select, okay, which is this, and then of course we want to make this into a hidden line. Yeah? So we're just gonna go ahead and select these at 3 of the selected lines right there. And then change the layer. Yeah, so after you select, we just go over there and then go ahead and change, because we already identify the line type in there, so we don't have to redo it again. Okay. All right, so after you have changed the hidden line, then you should be able to see, yeah, all these lines are now drawn with the hidden line type, which is this guy. Yeah, so go ahead and escape, okay, out of this. Because you can be able to see it a little bit better right now. So go ahead and save it. All right, then we are going to go to home, okay, and then go to modify panel. Of course, we will use this mirror command. Yeah, so just click on it. So if you click on the mirror, it will go into the mirror mode. Sometimes your mouse can be stubborn, yeah, so make sure that you click on it. Sometimes you might go different window. When you come back to it, your cursor will look like a little arrow. All you have to do is just click on the canvas and you will go back into the previous, all right, the last mode like that. So my mode is right now in the mirror mode. So it is asking you, all right, to select the object. So we have to select, okay, this thing. So now I'm using my zoom, okay, on my mouse to make it a little bit smaller, so that way I can be able to, okay, choose it. So it said, okay, select the object. Okay, so it asks you to select 2 points. Yeah, so all you have to do select and scan, of course, the whole thing because you want to mirror this. All right, so we go ahead and scan. So it would be scan like that. All right, and then it is going to ask you to choose, to choose the end. So you can be able to choose it by clicking enter. Yeah, so if you click enter on your keyboard, you can be able to get to the end point of it. Yeah, so if you do not hit enter key on your keyboard, you can be able to see this. Yeah, see the command line change mirror specify first point of mirror line is going to show up if you hit enter. If you don't hit enter, your cursor, won't change to the specified first point of mirror line at all. Yeah, it is gonna stay as a little square icon. Okay, little square thing at the as your cursor. So right now we are going to choose this. Yeah, so right now you can be able to see, see, we have to choose another point to close this thing. Yeah, see, it is now like tangling like that with wherever your cursor is moving. Yeah, so now we want to close it right here. Yeah, where the symmetry should be. So mirror line, got to be. So this is where we want to put it. Okay, and then of course you will get the yes and no. All right, all we have to do is just go ahead and give it yes, so which is enter. Yeah, save it. Right, then we are going to change to the little hand and put it to the center, so it's kind of easier, for you to be able to see it. And then of course you can be able to just select it. Okay, so one moment, my selection is kind of off. Yeah. Of course, this is another thing that the student can be able to, make a mistake in the selection. So every time you want to select, for instance, let's say you want to select this line, this line and that line for this example, and you will click one, one click on your canvas. And if you drag it on this side, it is going to give you a blue color, yeah. And if you drag it on that side, it is going to give you a green color, yeah. So this is what I wanted to show you, like how students make mistake by selecting, by pulling to the right side and getting the blue color, yeah. And if you move it to this side, you're going to get the green color. Yes, so of course, your tutorial want you to move it to the left side, yeah. So it starts from here, and then you are going to move it to the left side, yeah. So scanning this line, that line, and then of course that line, yeah. So if you specify that it is going to select the 3 lines perfectly, yeah, for you. Right now we want to join, all that line. So we go over there, and then we will modify it this time. Okay, and of course your little join is going to be right here, and you can be able to click on it. All right, so now they are all joined together. Okay, all right, so right now I'll go ahead and save it. So if you want to check, and all you have to just go there and click on it. So see that symmetry, 2 halves is now joined into 1 half and 1 single line. Yeah, escape out of it, and then go ahead and save that. All right, now we will get into the hatch command. Yeah, so let's go ahead and erase all of your previous command. All right, make sure no objects is selected, and we're on the object layer for now. And then of course on the ribbon, go ahead and choose your home tab, and then go all the way to the layers again. Yeah, so this is where we are, and of course this time we're going to change our layer to hatched. So you're gonna get this a little gray hatch layer right up there. So we're now on this layer instead of the other one. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to hatch. Okay, we want to hatch these. So you're practicing one command after another. So your hatch is going to be in your draw panel, which is this guy right there. So home and then draw, and then of course there is the hatch. So inside of the hatch you have three different variations of the hatch pattern, and we are gonna choose that hatch. Okay, and it's gonna take you of course to this window, where you can be able to choose the ANSI 32, okay, which is this guy, the pattern. So we're just choosing the lines we want. The ANSI standard 32 is our pattern that we chose it, and then of course we are going to go all the way, okay, to here, and then instead of 1 we want to make it like in this example, what are we doing, 0.5, okay. So and that is what you set up for your hatch. All right, so we did this standard, and then we do this, okay, which is this little hatch pattern, and scale it down, okay, half. All right, so once you finish it, okay, you are going to everything is set up is okay, of course, and you want to just go ahead and enter, so once you finish it, you enter, and all right, now let's go back to the hatch, the setting that we just set up, and we have the ANSI, we have the scale down, okay. Everything is ready to hatch, okay, so we are going to hatch this area, so click on it, and then of course we want to hatch here, and then we want to hatch there, and then there, and then we want to hatch right here, okay, and then here, and then here, so go ahead and hatch everything, so after we got all of it, go ahead and enter, so now it's a perfect, so hatching on your part. Go ahead and save it right now. Alright, so after we finish it, okay, we want to do zoom extend, so go to your navigation bar and then just do a zoom extend to see all parts, okay, so we have two parts, so one up and one down with a hatch, okay, and of course you're going to be able to zoom out of it to see a little bit better, so we can now see two parts completely, and then of course we want to put some annotations on it, so we will hop to the text layer, so go to home and then go to this layers, panels, and then change into text layer. Of course we will now hop to the annotate, okay, tab, which is next to home, and then insert, and then you go here, do not confuse with annotation and annotate tab. Annotation is the panel, annotate is the tab, okay, so we have to go to this annotate tab, and then we will go to the text panel, which is the very first one here, so of course your text drop down menu, we will have to choose if we're doing a single line or multi-line. Right now we're just going to do the multi-line, right, so click on it, multi-line text, of course we will have to specify the first corner where you want to place the text, okay, so we will go ahead and specify around here, this is a good area to be able to put the text anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and choose it. So the text box is going to pop up there, so here is the text box, so you can of course have a different control all over it, okay, and instead of 0.2 is kind of small, so you can choose it to probably 4, okay, with 3 decimal places, for this example that you want to do that. Of course, if you want to underline, go ahead and underline that, and justifications, depends on where you want it to be. So right now in this example we will just want to center, all All right, so we change up, a little bit of the things. Of course, once you finish it, go ahead and type like TOP, top, and then space VIEW. Okay, so we type in top view. Okay, so once you finish it, you can go ahead and close. So right now, of course, you can be able to go back and make it big, so you can be able to see a reasonable size of top view. Okay. Go ahead and of course save it. Of course, you can quickly make another text box and write another text right here. But of course, you can also make it a little bit bigger. You can also, of course, copy what you have already prepared. So let's take a look at how to use a copy command. Go to home, tab, and then of course modify panel, which is this guy, and then of course here is your copy command. So your copy command is under modify, and of course it looks like this. Okay, so don't go and look for the old version. All right, copy little icon, it doesn't have it because we're in a new version, so therefore new version copy icon looks like that, but it is the same command. So go ahead and click on it. Yes, so when you click on it, you're gonna get into the copy mode like that. Okay, so at the select object, see this in the command line, copy select object, so that is a prompt. Okay, so you wanna select the multi-line text, M text object that was just created, so which is this guy. So you wanna select that. Okay, and then of course you're gonna have to enter. So if you enter, it will go into there. So and it's going to ask you where do you want the base point. So specify any point near the M text object if you want to. So you can be able to just click somewhere around there. And that is a very important place where students get confusion. So after you click, you don't know what to do. Okay, so what you have to do is just specify any point near that. So all you have to do is just click on it. Okay, of course then they're gonna ask you and give me another point, and you don't know what to do. Okay, you can be able to type like a 90-degree, or you can be able to click the restrict cursor. So that's up to you, whichever way that you want to do. Okay, and don't do enter and then also click on the mouse several times, and some students do that and then they lose back. I think the frustration comes from clicking unnecessary mouse command while you are already in the command mode. Okay, so you can enter less than 90-degree. Okay, when it prompt. Okay, so if you do that, we can be able to see enter after typing in. And then of course we will go here, and that's where you want the text to. I will just place it around here. It means that we're coming down from here directly to somewhere around here. Sometimes it is a tangle with all the previous command like that, so it is a good idea to escape. Hit escape 3 or 4 times to clear these tangle commands, so you can be able to see. Right now I'm so familiar to work like that. Okay, so all you have to do is just go straight down. Move the cursor below the objects that you want to put that text. Okay, and then of course you gonna go ahead and specify. So it is right there already. Of course there's another one. It is tangling there like that for you. Okay, so all you have to do is just exit it. Okay, So you only have to place one time, and go ahead and erase all of this command. So we see by clicking escape 3 or 4 times, and we see we clear up all of that tangled previous command. So right now we have just copied it. Okay, so what you can do is you can make it a little bit better, a little bit better by you can just make it like a window, of course, so we can be able to focus to the top view on text. Right now this isn't a top view because we put the section in there, so we're gonna have to change it. Okay, all right, so make sure you save it after we move the text. All right, M text means multi-text, right? The multi-text line. So after you finish moving, you are going to go and, all right, what you're going to do is you just go in there, and then of course you can double click on it. It will go back to the text window like that to edit. So text editing window will come pop right back out when you double click on it. And this time, of course, you have to change the name of it because this is an incorrect name. We just did the section. So we're gonna use all capital letters, and we write it section, okay, and we type it, all right, like that. So once you finish it, modifying, so this is another one. All right, you have issue. We already changed the text string, from top view to section view, and we have you have an issue how to make sure that okay what you did is going to confirm. All right, so all you have to do is come back out of it. So now we have already changed from top view into section view text in the text box. Okay, text is just a multi-text box, and we call it a short name for it. Okay. All right. So now here we have the section view, and if you want to adjust, right now I'm okay with this, but if you want to make it okay a little bit better or something like that, so you have this text right string. Okay, it's on 2 lines right there. So you can select that object, okay, and then you can you can select this object, okay, like that. So if you click only one single time, you're gonna see the hidden menu pop out like this. See this? So, and this is the rightmost, triangle. We call that the triangle grip. All right, this is the square grip, and that is also the middle triangle grip. Okay, so just you can drag that, to the right, and then click to resize that M text. So that's up to you. If you want to keep it the same, okay, you can do that. If you want to pull it a little bit bigger, you can also do that. Okay, so that's up to you, whichever way that you wanna do. I'm just gonna leave it, okay, just like this for now. So double click will go back to the text editor, and a single click is gonna give you the grip points. Now escape out of it and go ahead and save it. Right, now we will continue. So after we finish this, we are going to go a little bit up, to back to our top view right here. All right, so now we will get into the center line. Okay, so center line and the center marks. Of course, you can do the zoom extent, because you want to see everything, but I just want to demonstrate it back to you. So here is just zoom extension in both of the views, the section view, and then of course the top view. Make sure you don't have any other object in all the previous commands. So click on the escape a couple of times, and it will clear up everything. And then we are going to go back to our home tab and the layers. And then now let's change our layer to the center because we need to put the center marks, okay? And then of course, we want to concentrate, on this part. So I'm just going to go back and window it a little bit so that way I can be able to see it a little bit better, okay? Now what you're going to do is go to annotate or a tab here, and then of course go to your center. Yeah, so everything about the center mark, center lines are in the center lines panel, and we are going to click on this center mark. Yeah, so now I am in the center mark mode right there. Okay, so right now what you need to do is to select the 4 small circles, and of course another right outermost circle at the center of that top view. So we're gonna select this little guy, we're gonna select that little guy, and then this guy, and then of course that guy. Yeah, and we want the outer. Yeah, so outermost, so this is outer and that's the inner, so therefore we are going to choose the outermost. Yeah, because we want the center line to come out of it. Of course, hand drawn, you never continue to draw your center line like that. A lot of the students skip it, but you have to put the line out of it in the hand drawn. So right now we already did this. Yeah, so we have done the center center marks to all of our circle. So once you finish it, go ahead and confirm by hitting the enter key on your keyboard. Okay, so right now we are going to go back to the annotate tab, and this time we want to choose a center line, the same panel, center lines panel right there. Yeah, and of course we want to move to the section view. Okay, so that's where we want to put the center lines. So now I am escaping out of my hand, and of course we want to choose this center line, so go ahead and choose a center line right here. Yeah, and we want to select, because we want to put the center line by showing where the cylinder is. Okay, so where the holes are. So that's your giant hole, and then of course this is a second and a third, your little small circles on the top view. So on the section view we can be able to see the cylinders for these holes. So select one of the lines indicated in the following image, okay, which is going to be this line. Yeah, so there are 2 lines, you can choose one of them. Okay, see that? So and then of course you have to select the other line. Okay, so right here we're going to select the other line. So this is how you place the center line. Okay, so where you want to place it. Of course let's do the center line in all of the circles. Yep, and if you want to continue the previous command, okay, you don't have to go back. Okay, you can be able to hit the enter again. So that's to repeat the previous command. So we would just hit enter, and then of course we are going to choose this and that, and then of course you enter again and go back into the center line mode again, and then choose this. Yeah, so it makes you faster to be able to do that. All right, so now we have completed the center marks and center lines on how to put it into your drawing. So go ahead and save it. All right, after that we want to add the dimensions. So we go back to the zoom extent, so you can be able to see where we are right now. So let's go to home tab. All right, go to layers, of course, because now we need to change our layers because we want to do the dimension. Yeah, so go ahead and change the layer to dimension like this. All right, so on your navigation bar, of course, we want to zoom, window, and what we want to do is the very first one. Okay, I already did that for you. All right, so so from zoom extent, okay, we are going to window to back to this section view, okay, which is actually your right side view. Okay, so now we go back into here. Then of course we will go to our annotate tab. Yes, so right here, and then go all the way down because we want to do the dimension. So go to dimension panel, which is this guy, and then the first thing that we have to do is to choose the style of the dimension. All right, you have a drop down list right there, and we are going to choose the manage dimension styles. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and click and go right here. Yeah, so manage dimension style is going to be right there. By default, it's showing as annotated. All right, and the standard is of course this one. So if you choose a standard, you will get that. If you choose the annotative, you're going to get the annotative. Yeah, so we are at the standard, and then go into the manage dimension style. All right, the window right here. So it's going to take you to this dimension style manager, okay, window. And what we want to do is to make sure that we're on standard, okay. And then of course we would have to, all right, check, all right, the standard view if that's correct, and make sure you want to set that as a current, okay. Your modify, of course, it is right here. Yeah, so let's click on the modify, okay, and it is going to give you another window, okay, something look like this. And of course it'll go all the way to the primary units, because we want to make sure that we're choosing the correct decimal. Yeah, so we want to make it like a 3 decimal, yeah, for our precision. And then of course I'll go ahead and set that and confirm. Yeah, and after that, you can exit the dialog box by clicking OK. So it come back to here, and we want to close it on this side as well. Yeah. And after that, we are going to go to our annotate tab, okay, which is already on. And then of course the dimension, yes. And then of course your dimension drop down, all right. We want to do it just a regular linear dimension, which is this guy, yeah. So you have a line, yeah, angular arc, radius, diameter, jog, and the alternate, yeah. So the very first one is your linear. So let's go ahead and click on it, okay. And it's going to ask you, of course, yeah, for the input. So what you have to do is to give it the endpoints, all right. So endpoints, so we want to dimension this little one. You see the endpoints are on, and of course you will do that, okay, and click on it, okay. And then of course we want to dimension this, so second, yeah, and click on it, and you will get, see, like 0.250, yeah, pop out right there. Yeah, see this, and you can drag it. All right, you can choose where you want it to be. This is very, it looks weird. Yeah, this is also very small. This go back into the object. So we're just gonna make it, okay, relatively a good position to place that. Yeah, so I will go like around this much. All right, see that? Okay. All right, so we specify the point to place that. So all you have to do is just click on the point, and it is going to attach your dimension, yeah, to your part. All right, so now we want to repeat the linear dimension. All right, don't worry about the text right now, because it's just very, very big right now, and you can be able to change, all right, the text settings later. So right now we are going to do another, so just go right back into the dimension command previously by hitting the enter, all right, key on your keyboard. So now we go right back in, yeah. And this time, of course, you want a dimension, okay, this, and then second point is this, okay. And of course you pull it and place it nicely to the right of the first dimension, okay. All right, see, so we have I have like a 2.250, and the other one is a 0.250, okay. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and do, okay, another linear, of course, the dimensioning, and we go from here to here, okay. So I was recording on a different file, and I'll get confusion with the other file. So this is the correct one for you guys, which is a 2.0000 for this problem, okay. So the other one is a little bit of variation, because I record in a multiple, of course, multiple section, because I need to go somewhere and like drink water or something and come back, okay. So anyways, I open up a wrong file to continue recording. Of course, after you dimension it, and go ahead and save it. Of course, here I turn on the other layer because in this file I forget to turn on the new file with the 2.000 dimension is. Okay, so anyway, so let's get back here, and after you have completed dimensioning, go ahead and of course save it. Let me go back here to dimension layer, yeah, and save it here. Then we will go, of course, up, yeah, so let's go up to the other view, make it a little bit small so we can be able to work on it. And we're going to place a linear dimension again, so go to annotate tab, and then here is your linear, yeah, dimension. And of course we want to in this example, yeah, we want to dimension this, okay, and that, so that you should get about like a 0.625, okay, 0. All right, then we want to make it faster, yeah, so you will go to this dimension panel, has a continuous, yeah, dimensioning, which is this little guy right there. Okay, so if you click on it, we can be able to, yes, continue to dimension it. So now let's continue to dimension this, okay? See that? It is showing you, yeah, each one of them. Of course, you can go up here, yeah, and you can be able to do, okay? But the issue is like we're supposed to be going, of course, from here to there, yeah? Alright, so therefore we're not going to continue it, because if you continue, you can be able to dimension from here to here, because it will go from here to here. Yeah? So let's just go ahead and end it, and we will start back from the linear dimension, because we want to dimension this too. Yeah, so this, and then of course you have point number 4. It's going to give you about 4. Yeah, so nicely place it here. Enter to get out of it. Of course, so then we're done with the linear dimension, and we can go into the radius. Yeah. So here is the radius. So if you go to here, you will find the radius right here. So the very first radius that we want to dimension, okay, is this little arc right there. See that? So what you're gonna do is all you have to just click on it, yeah, and that's a 0.0250. So they all have the exact dimension we put it into our drawing, okay. Of course, then the second one we need to, all right, dimension this little, yeah, guy right there. So let's dimension this guy by clicking onto it, and of course I'll put it somewhere here, yeah. And of course we also want to dimension, okay, you can enter or you can just click on it to dimension, all right, this little circle right there, yeah. So that's a actually this is we want the outer, yeah, so your textbook want the outer one to dimension. Okay, so we did this outer, yeah, diameter, and of course in inner diameter we have an offset of 0.125, I remember, yeah. In the textbook that was a typo, okay, so you're gonna see like 0.175 showing the inner, yeah, the inner the diameter of the inner circle. That is incorrect, yeah, because if you had like a 1.750, that just a publisher, okay, publisher on the online, okay. So when you type it in, we got the mistake right there, we haven't changed it. So anyways, it's actually 1.0000, and then you have like a 0.8750, okay. Of course, my dimension here is set to the 4 decimal, okay. Of course, in the textbook, it is set to the 3 decimal, but whichever way is okay, yeah. And that is because our dimension unit, right, setting that we do is kind of like a 4 decimal point for this template. So if you call the units, yeah, if you call the units from here, you can see our precision at 4. Okay. Of course, you can change it like if you wanna, yeah, change it. But then, of course, since you change it in the middle, it won't change anything that you have already, all right, done. Of course, you can delete it if you want to, and redo, yeah, dimensioning to this guy. Yeah, it doesn't change. See that? So because of the way, yeah, we set up the template. And on demand, all right, precision, I'm just showing you a little bit of course, in the future chapter we will go. I shouldn't be showing everything that there's, but you can just go into here. There's a quick access, okay? So you can be able to see the dimension. Yeah, look at this, the style, and then of course precision. You can change that by selecting all of it. Okay, so if you wanna change from the 4 decimal to the 3 decimal, okay, we can be able to do that. Of course, you can select, yeah, each one of them this way. Okay, so if you want to make it look, yes, 3 decimal. I'm just giving you a little bit faster way, see? And then of course right click and then go all the way to precision level that you want to do it, okay? Save it, because I just show you how to change, yeah, on demand. The same thing, you can do it by just selecting, okay, on it. Because I remember like one of my students asked me, yeah, and I told him to right click and change it, precision, and he can't find it. So anyway, so that's how you do it, yeah, because he want to know how to handle that. So anyway, so here it is. So let's just save it. Just to look the same, okay, as your textbook, we can of course delete it because it's kind of like a tangle. Yeah, I just want to actually do I'm just gonna go ahead and delete it, and we are going to do only one, of course, which is this guy. Yeah, so I'll put it right there. And of course linear, yeah, dimension, we go back to the linear dimension, and of course we will complete, okay, what we want to so here you have an issue trying to find the endpoint is can be able to find it here, circle, yeah. So make sure you get the grip the center of the circle to be able to get this dimension, yeah. And now of course enter again to do the same thing. Of course at this time you want to actually grab this too, yeah, so we can be able to see that, yeah. Because in my drawing, all right, this is kind of like a close, all right, to the dimension, so you can move it, yes, if you want to move it. Because if you want to move it, you can use this, you know, move tool right there. Of course, you can click on it, yeah, and you can move it 90-degree down, okay, so it can go in a very nice way and will give you some space, okay, for you to be able to play with. So now I can be able to go, yeah, into that object. Alright, so now I have some space, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dimension, yeah, so we do the linear dimension right here for this 2 points, okay. So now I have a little more space to be able to play with, and of course we do again for this center to the center. Center usually showed okay up with a little green circle, so make sure you grab that. Then we will go into actually this. Okay, well, let's just keep it according to your and here it's a little bit difficult to find the endpoint. Okay, what we're trying to find is the center. So one way you can be able to do is if you can't find it, one way you can do is to disable all other stuff. Yes, I don't need the endpoint. All I need is a center. Yeah, so I can be able to disable like that, so I can find the center very clearly. Okay, so right now we can be able to put that dimension right in there. So if you give me like about that much of dimension, okay, it is pretty good. Of course, the outside dimension, to complete, you can also put the outside dimension, all right, from here if you want to add an extra. If you don't want to add an extra, that's okay too. Because the outside diameter is kind of like so let me just go back and turn on the endpoint. Okay, so the outside diameter is from here, of course, all the way to here. So you can specify that diameter like that. Okay, so that's up to you if you want to give or don't want to give. Okay, so now we will go into 1.75. Yeah, so your textbook is showing a little bit off, but because let me go back here, and this time we are going to do a diameter. Yeah, so the diameter is right here. We will go to the diameter. Yeah. And then of course this inside, to show the consistency. Yeah, so in the textbook you're gonna see, okay, it only shows you the diameter. And of course it doesn't really tell you which one to choose. It just tells you to go ahead and do, of course, dimensioning on all of that. I just want you not to confuse when you look at this. I give you a 2 here for you so you can see that's a diameter and this one is a radius. Alright, now we will choose these guys because this diameter has like a radius. Okay, they have like 4 of them here. So we have to do the GD&D dimensioning correctly. So what we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and choose it. Okay, so if you choose like that, you can be able to see it's been highlighted. Okay, of course you can go go straight into the property by right clicking and go all the way down and choose the properties, and you will get something like this. And of course you can go all the way to overwrite the text. So go all the way to the fit. Okay, and the text is here. And of course you have a text override right there. And we can just quickly punch in, and we want to make it, of course, 4 times, right? And make sure, you write down this little one. If you don't write down that little one, it's not going to show up. So this little code is just a code to bring up what you have already formally entered. The text should be visible. So this little code is going to keep this guy previously entered radius for that dimension. Alright, so once you finish it, of course you enter and you can close it and escape. So now we have 4 times of these little circles, and we dimension the radius of that, and go ahead and save it. Right, so the layout is kind of like a, like if you do like zoom extend, it's gonna go in that way, yeah, and you can be able to see the layout, yeah, like this. So now we are ready to do plotting. So your plot is the print, and we want to print it in a PDF file, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we will click on this, all right, little one, right, and then your quick access, right, and of course it will take you to do the plot, okay, model dialog box right there, and you will have to choose, all right, because we want to make sure, yeah, that you can choose a general documentation, which is a PC3. So let's just go to the general, all right, documentation, which is this guy right here, yeah, and choose that. Of course, once we finish choosing, yeah, the name of the printer or the plotter, and we want to make it PDF document, and we will go to check the paper size, yeah, so your paper size is right here, of course, and we want to keep it at ANSI, yeah, 8.5011 for the letter, yeah, and a USI units, yeah, and then of course we will go down to display, and we make sure that we want to extend, for the window, for all parts to be included. And of course you want to offset a little bit for your plot scale, yeah, so your plot scale is right here, yeah, look at this. Your plot offset is right here, yeah, so we will choose a center to the plot, and then of course a fit to the paper and the plot scale, yeah. These are just the settings to make sure that we print correctly. And then of course we will go, yeah, if you choose like this, it's going to hide and then of course expand, okay, your plot model dialog window or the box, yeah. Of course, we will go into our plot style, which is this guy right here, and we just want a monochrome, we don't want color or anything. So just go and choose, monochrome for that, of course. And then a portrait is easy, like a drawing orientation than the landscape. So you can also choose a portrait and landscape, all right, that way, to fit your mechanical part, okay, in that way. Of course you want to make sure, that the settings, everything is okay. Okay, so just want to change this a little bit, okay. And here I forgot to show you because I was going quickly. So after you change the plot style, right, from the drop down, you want to, okay, you want to click like, just no for that dialog box, okay. So that's, I think I kind of accidentally skip it. All right, after we finish the portrait, orientation selection, we will go into the preview. Of course, you can, apply to the layout. So we will go into this layout setting, and then of course we will preview that, and we can be able to see our plot in PDF like that, okay. So once you finish it, you can check, so I was just showing you 1.75, but of course we don't actually, all right, need that, so we can go back out, and you can, go ahead and delete unnecessary dimension. I was just showing you what they are, and you can delete it to make it okay, okay, to where you want to go. So I'm just gonna put it there, okay, for you. One moment, okay. I just deleted it accidentally. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this all right, So there's no redundancy in our part, okay, that we are showing. Of course, alright, and of course we also don't need this one because we already showed that up there, so we can delete it to make sure everything is clear. Yeah, so now we have all of the dimensions, right, correctly labeled, and we try to see if you have any kind of redundancy. If you find any kind of redundancy, go ahead and delete it. Okay, so I think, all right, so now we are okay, so we will save it, and then we go back to our plot setting. Yeah, it's already been set in the way we want it to be, and of course we will go back and check our views. It gets better, yeah, it's clearer. Okay, so the only thing is, I would say this is kind of like a redundant, and you can actually, if you want, you can trim it off. Yeah, but of course we just want to make sure that we're following the foundation example, so therefore I think that's pretty good. Yeah, so once you finish it, we're gonna be able to print, yeah, in the way you want it, and of course we press OK. Yeah, and that's going to take us to where you want to save it. So I love to save, yeah, in my lab, so, and I'm just going to go ahead and save that there. Yeah, so now your PDF is going to print that out for you. So this is your, yes, your top view and the section view. Okay, so now let's just go back here to our model space. Okay, so what I want you to do is finish up, okay? And all of that, of course, you're gonna save your part. Once you finish a publishing job, you make sure that everything is okay, and then of course you can close it, right? So that's it for the lab 2, okay? So it takes you about like, of course, 2 hours, yeah? Of course, it is for a 2 days lab, but some student can be able to finish it really quickly, yeah, because we only have a 1 hour and 50 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you can take it home, yeah, finish it at your house. Of course, make sure that you repeatedly practice this lab, yeah, because these cover a lot of the foundations points, yeah. All right, so let's stop it right there.